Hello nieces, hello nephews, it's your Uncle Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased price action analysis. We lost a pretty critical level today. It's the infamous 390 level. And as usual, Uncle's gonna talk about the bull case scenario and the bear case scenario and give you guys my plan of action for the future. And also share with you guys how I traded today for educational purposes. Let's go! So I always use the 15-minute to 30-minute chart, mostly the 15-minute chart when I trade. All my levels are based on the daily chart. So I just add them as pivot lines or, trend lines right here, horizontal lines, whatever you want to call them, so that I can reference them. The plan's always the same every morning, and I wrote here on my Discord. I got first support at 393 to 393.5 zone with lower price target with 391.5, 392, and 390 below. Okay, and I got first resistance at 395 to 395.7 zone with higher price targets. Okay, so I always mention to the group, watch for the first breakout, breakdown. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, so we don't just enter randomly. That's why a lot of people have trouble trading the open, because they just enter randomly. They're just jumping in. They're just diving in. We don't do that. We wait for the right setup. Got the breakout right here. All right, 393.5 breakdown, and it worked out very beautifully. Okay, you can see here after we broke it down, just take most or some profits at the next level. That's level to level trading. You enter from one level, take profit at the next, can leave a runner. All right, with the runner, you lower your risk. You already secured most profits, but you still have skin in the game. All right, and if the market wants to bless you with a home run, your runner will catch it. All right, stress-free trading, especially on trend days. Okay, it's not always that nice. The market is always not always that nice to us, which I'm going to talk about. But yeah, this is what happened. 393.5 breakdown. It was alerted in the group, pushed all the way down. Morning was very easy to trade. Come to the afternoon, we started chopping a bit. Okay, that happens. Market can't just go straight down forever. Okay, now that's what I want to talk to you guys about. Yes, we lost a critical level at 390. Okay, you guys know the false breakout and the false breakdowns are my favorite trade setups. I'm not saying we're going to get a false breakdown tomorrow, but we got to be careful of that because we had 3 straight days of a big move to the downside. One directional, easy to trade 3 days in a row. Okay, market cycles through 2 phases, like I've mentioned in previous video. We got the chop phase and the trend phase. Lately, we've had a trend phase. Very easy to trade trend phase. And in the trend phase, you can make a lot of money. All right, a lot of traders are either going to blow up their account because they don't want to trade with the trend, or they make a lot of money because they learned their lessons in the past and they trade with the trend. Okay, but after the trend phase comes the chop phase. And as your Uncle Charles, I just want to bring that up, not as a prediction, but just for us to keep in mind. So if it does happen, we don't get blindsided. This is the point of my videos, to help us, me and you, prepare for this market for the next day, whatever it throws at us. Okay, so just keep in mind, we've had 3 days in a row of trend days. Don't be surprised if tomorrow ends up being a chop day. If it is end up being a chop day, it's a different approach. We need to identify the range of the chop. We can either wait for the breakout or the breakdown of the chop. You can always use the false breakouts and false breakdowns of that range as well, because that tend to happen because the goal of the market makers in the chop phase is not only to build more energy for the next move, the next trend move, but also to fake us out. So we just want to keep those things in mind when we're trading the chop phase. Okay, I like to be more in scalp mode just to be safe. I still use my levels as entries and stuff, but I'm more in scalp mode. I long the resistance of the range, long the support of the range. Chop phase are not my favorite, phases to trade, but they can happen. As traders, we want to be able to trade or become better at trading in any condition. All right, now that's just something to keep in mind. It is possible, though, we do continue the trend downwards. We lost a very critical level. You guys know what my trading system is. We long breakouts of resistance. We short breakdowns of support. Now I always say, because I'm a day trader, I use a 15 to 30 minute chart. But the same rules can be applied if you're a swing trader, but you just got to use the daily and the weekly chart for that. So we did lose a critical support of the 390 level. However, remember the bull case and the bear case, which I'm about to mention to you guys. I'm going to start off with the bull case, okay? Bear case comes after. I'm going to start off with the bull case. Since we broke down 390 today, bull case comes back into play if 390 is recaptured. 390, okay? I got 391.5 to 392 zone as the next resistant. 393.5, 395 to 395.7. Keep in mind, 395.7 is very critical because it's the 23.6 fib level from October low to December 13th high. So a recapture of that level would be very, very bullish. Okay? But for the bull case to start, it has to start with recapturing the level that was lost. The most immediate one first, which was 390 today. Okay? If we can recapture 390, that can give us a false breakdown setup. Okay? 395.7 is the very critical one. Recaptured that. That will be a very powerful false breakdown setup. Put in 398.5-ish, 400 and more up targets in play. 401.5, 403, 405. And the multi-month trend line from January high is now at 406.4 as it's sloping down, okay? So the bull case starts when 390 is recaptured, or if we can get a gap up, remember the levels that I give you and identify the immediate support resistance level. Same way I do every morning on my Discord channel, okay, guys? Now, the bear case scenario, 390 must hold. As long as 390 holds, the breakdown of today holds. It's intact, okay? The next support I have is around 388, okay? I had 388.5, but the market had other ideas, so I got to adjust with it, okay? So below 390, I got 388, and then the next critical support is the 38.2 fib level at 386.66. If that fails, I would swing puts, okay? But if we get a bounce there, I will only trust the bounce if it recaptures 388 or 390. All right? But if that breaks down, the bear case scenario continues and we could drop even lower down to 385-ish. I think the 50-day moving average, yep, is at 385.5 now. So let's see if we go test that. And if we lose the 50-day moving average, that is extremely, extremely bearish. Okay? Keep in mind, you guys know about the back test and go strategy. When we clear a resistant, we want to see that resistant get treated as a support level, okay? So if we break down that 50-day moving average, that would be very bearish. However, we cleared the 50-day moving average back on November 10th when we had the CPI, or was it CPI? Or, yep, CPI announcement, okay? So keep in mind, if we get a bounce there, I will only trust it if it recaptures 386.6, 388, or 390. Okay, I don't trust a bounce unless that bounce lead to a clearing of a resistant level. Okay. However, if this 50-day moving average is lost, keep in mind that will be a false breakout setup, a massive false breakout setup based on that breakout we had back in November 10th. All right, there is a gap fill around there as well, around 380-ish, 379-ish. Okay? So you guys got my bull case, you got my bear case. Let's move on to the triple Q, okay? Now, before I say anything on the triple Q, I just want to say, bah! All right, so we got I had to get that out of my system. So we got the breakdown of the megaphone pattern here, okay? So like I said, as long as, similar to with the breakdown with the 390 level, okay? 277.90 must hold as resistant tomorrow, okay? If it recaptures 277.90, as well as another critical resistance I have at 279.5, today was a false breakdown, okay? Recapture these level, today was a false breakdown. That will be a very bullish setup. All right, we get back up to 283, 284.7-ish, 286, 287.7, okay? But as long as below 277.8-ish, okay? I got next support at 275.5. If that fail, we go test 273. and 270.8. Okay, stay bear bias as long as 277.89 holds as resistant. All right, only switch to calls or bullish if that level's recaptured. Okay, Dow Jones also had some breakdowns here to be bullish. Let's see, it closed at 332.8. I had a support at 332.5. Very close to breaking that down. Okay, so 335 was the big breakdown level. Okay, Dow Jones need to recapture that level to give us a false breakdown setup to put 336.5, 338, 340, and 343 in play. Okay, stay bearish as long as below 335. With 332.5 as the next breakdown level and 330.7 with the gap fill around 329.5 and the critical support around 325.5ish. All right, Tesla, it did recapture this pink trend line that I have here. Okay, it was a breakdown level. It broke down yesterday. That level was around 156. It recaptured that. So if 156 fails tomorrow, this was a false recapture. Okay, false. Even though it's a false breakdown setup, I still need to see follow through by. It needs to recapture 159, 161.5, 164, 166.4, and 170ish, 171 zone. Okay. But if it cannot clear 159 and it breaks back below 156, that is a false recapture, guys. And we could drop back down to 153-ish or lower. Okay? Apple, you look at that. If Apple made up its mind about this triangle pattern, it gapped below it, tested it as a resistant. Okay? Tested it perfectly as a resistant before selling off. Okay? The immediate breakdown level right now is 137.5. So if bulls want to get any bullish momentum going, it'll need to start with recapturing 137.5 to put 139, 141.7, and 142 and 143.5 back in play. Okay, so stay bearish though below 137.5 with the next support at 136, and we could get a drop down to 133.8 with 132.6 below. Now let's look at some inverses. We got DXY trying to recapture this critical level at 104.3-ish, okay? As long as it can hold, I got the next critical resistance at 105.3, 105.8, and 106.6, all right? But if it breaks back down below 104.3-ish, can't get too bearish on the DXY, okay? That would be, it could be a false recapture setup, all right? VIX, yeah, it hit one of my Fibonacci channels line perfectly and you know, got some selling pressure. So it got about a few seconds left. If it can stay, get that close above 22.7, that would technically be a false breakdown setup. Okay, and if it does secure in the next 37 seconds, that would keep 22.6 and 25 as the next resistant levels above. Okay, it needs to clear that to make this false breakdown here mean anything, to mean more. Okay, so obviously below 22.7, I would be bearish on the VIX again. All right, so keep an eye on the VIX. Usually, not always, about 75-80% of the time, it does inverse the SPY. So if VIX can get bullish here, show us some signs of fear in the market, maybe SPY can continue downwards. All right, let's end this with the option flow filter for 500K premiums or above. Picking SPY here, filter it right here, 500K. Big money is overall 61% bearish, okay? Seeing a lot of block orders here, and they're mostly calls, all right? I'm not seeing anything with big size. Let me check if there's any above the ask. Yep, and we got a bunch. Got a bunch here. All right, this one's a big size. Sweep orders, 380 strike price. Yeah, this one is in the money, 394 strike price right here. This is a call. Yeah, so excuse me, this is out the money, not in the money. Yeah, that's a call, not a put. But yeah, overall, big money is bearish as far as their most aggressive plays go. QQQ, their most aggressive plays above the ask are puts right now. Okay, this one is a 330 strike price, 325 strike price on QQQ. So in 330, very in the money puts. Strike price, expiration date for next year. Dow Jones. Nothing for Dow Jones. Tesla, the most aggressive above the ask, overall bearish. This one right here sticks out. 1.5 in premium sweep order, 8,120 strike price. Wow, that's an incredible. That's a very aggressive play. Definitely keep your eyes on that one, guys. This one is an in the money put. 170 strike price, okay, but it's over 5 million premium. But this one right here, definitely worth keeping an eye out on. All right, Apple, nothing really aggressive above the ask. We got some small, not above the ask here, but this one over 5,000 in size, puts 137. So they entered around 138. Okay, but overall bearish on Tesla. Apple. VIX here. Look at this. Overall bullish. Interesting. Okay, this is over 15,000 in size, over 14,000 in size, over 10,000 in size. Keep this in mind, guys. Look at the strike price, 45.70. Holy moly. And it's, they definitely got time on it, all right? So thank you guys. That's all I have. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more content from Uncle Charles, please consider joining my Discord. I got the link in the description in the pinned comment below. I got some coupon deals, so definitely use that if you guys decide to join. I just thank you guys so much for your time. I hope I didn't waste it. Peace.